by EY, building a better working world. And by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Now, here's Eric Allen and Eric Coleman.
Welcome to Inside the Jets. We're broadcasting live from Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. The Jets are on their bye, and my partner, co-host Eric Coleman, must be on his bye as well, because the gentleman sitting next to me is, of course, rookie linebacker Blake Cashman, and our player guest segment is presented by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Blake, you're used to filling in here this season, so we're going to bring you right off the bat here. How would you describe your first 3 games in the National Football League? It's got to be, I got to imagine it must have been a whirlwind.
Yeah, it's been truly incredible. I mean, it's been everything I've dreamed of since I've been. And the past 3 weeks, it's been a big learning curve, just because when you get those real game reps and you're going against such great competition, and you're surrounded by great players, like guys like C.J. Mosley, Jamal Adams, you just feel yourself and you see yourself learning so much so fast, and that's mentally and physically getting better every day.
We're going to be taking your calls later here on Inside the Jets. 800-919-3776. Blake Cashman joins us right off the bat. The Jets 0-3. You didn't get the results you wanted against New England. That was your first experience against perhaps the greatest quarterback in the history of our game in Tom Brady. What was that like for you out there on the field at Gillette? And you guys took those first 3 punches. They scored on consecutive possessions out of the gate, and then you seemed to steady the ship, so to speak.
Yeah, like you just said, we definitely got off to a rough start, and defensively started to figure it out a little bit. Tom Brady, like you said, he's a great quarterback, great player, and definitely provides challenges for any team, any defense. I think it was just one of those things that after those 3 drives, after they scored, we kind of got in a rhythm. We started getting a feel for what they were doing offensively. But when you're playing a guy like Tom Brady, he reads the defense so well, and he dissects the defense. And New England scheme, they're going to attack players instead of scheme. So you just got to be very aware of what they're doing and what they're going to go back to. And as the game went on, we started to slowly figure that out. But it was one of those things that, time was working against us. And, we couldn't beat the time, and they ended up getting a good jump on us.
They seemed to get you on a couple plays early where there were some coverage busts out there. I think about the play to the tight end, Izzo, right off the bat, a 3rd and short, where he's running free and he gets that chunk gainer, or the Philip Dorsett touchdown. Do you point to, I know everybody's always asking at home, well, why did that happen? Why do we see runners going free? Lack of execution, or sometimes you guys got to maybe make some checks at the line and get out of a play?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that watching on TV that you don't see when you're on the field. But what New England did really well against us, and they actually lead the league in this, is with motions and shifts. And that's to disrupt defensive players' eyes and their keys, and try to confuse them as much as possible. So on that play, we had a call, and the tight end blocks out. The guy in the line of scrimmage needs to man him, but the way it was timed up and everything, it just confused us, and it was a indication, and New England was able to get a big play off that.
So what do you think happened, though, after those 3 initial shots where you guys were able to say, okay, we gotta stop the bleeding, so to speak?
Yeah, we went to the side. We really talk about just going back home, is what we say, and that's just going to our basic fundamentals and technique. And those are things that we've worked on since OTAs back in the spring. So we just try to play basic football at that point out, be very disciplined with our assignments, and that just allowed us to, I think, play faster and more confident.
Inside the Jets is supported by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets, here with Blake Cashman at Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits. You are an example of what has happened to the New York Jets here early this season, because I think the team overall has taken some lumps because of a number of injuries, but a guy like yourself has grown so much in the first 3 weeks that we're going to be talking about it later in the season, the improved depth of this football team. Have you seen guys like yourself grow during these times of adversity?
Absolutely, and I think when you are faced with adversity, I think that challenge is what pushes you to grow and become better a lot faster. And I've seen it with myself and other guys just because Coach Gaze always talks about it, that when somebody goes down this league, which it's guaranteed to happen, which is how physical it is, that there's got to be the next man up, and it's your responsibility as a backup to be ready for when your name is called, because at any moment in a game or even during the week when you're preparing in practice, your number might be called and you got to step up, and every starter and player on the team expects you to step into that role and take on the responsibility and do your assignment the right way.
It did not take long for us to find out why the Jets gave C.J. Mosley a huge contract in the offseason. Pick 6, a fumble recovery, then there in the second half against the Buffalo Bills in week 1, he makes a hell of a play that prevents a touchdown pass from Josh Allen to John Brown. I don't think a lot of middle linebackers in the National Football League could have made that play at all. Unfortunately, he goes down with the groin injury. At that moment, what happens with you on the sideline?
Well, I knew right then that I had to be ready, because he walked out the back of the end zone, and Coach Bush, linebacker coach, just said, "Cashman, go." And I think the coaches did a great job preparing players all week, and I felt like I was comfortable with every call that was going to be given my way. But it's football, and especially when it's that late in the game, you're kind of already in a rhythm and in a flow. So you just go out there, and it's just like playing Little League when you're a little kid. You just got to ignore all the hype and the noise outside of it all.
So Greg Williams, your defensive coordinator, always preaches the importance of cross-training. In your case, you got to learn how to be the Mike linebacker, because I think in the summer they were taking a look at you there, but also the Will linebacker. And over the past couple weeks, of course, Neville Hewitt's the guy in the middle playing the Mike, and you're playing the Will. So tell us what goes into being on the inside, being the signal caller, and then also playing the weak side.
Just different responsibilities on the field. The Mike linebacker is in charge of getting everybody aligned and getting the call and make sure everybody knows what's going on for that given play. And like you said, you might be the third linebacker in the depth chart, but if somebody goes down, you might have to play a different position or bump over to a different position depending on how much experience you've had and how much knowledge and understanding you have of that different position or that different role. So we work all the time, challenge each other as players to understand different positions that we could possibly have to fulfill just in case an injury like that happens.
Okay, so what does the term run fits mean? Because against Buffalo, maybe out of place a couple times as a group, and Devin Singletary found some gashes there in the fourth quarter, but you guys have been on it the last 2 weeks against the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. A lot of people aren't pointing to the fact of the strength of the run defense, but the last 2 weeks, it's been there.
Yeah. Well, we worked a lot in practice, just working, gap schemes and offensive lineman pulling, just drills like that, because that was a problem that Buffalo gave us that first game. Is they'd pull 1 or 2 linemen and they'd get extra hats over to one side of the ball where they were running it, and we weren't filling those gaps fast enough. So the past 2 weeks we've been working on that to make sure it doesn't happen again.
So 5th round pick out of Minnesota, you have a tremendous story because you were a very good basketball player and football player, and you actually, coming out of high school, you were deciding whether, hey, am I going to pursue my football career, or maybe I'll go play both sports at a small school. So what ultimately led you to Minnesota?
It really was one factor, and that was, what if? I remember sitting there thinking about making my decision, and I knew if I would have gone to a smaller school or to a school where I knew wouldn't be as challenging, where I'd probably be playing a lot more and could continue to be that star athlete that I was in high school. I'd look back once college was over and say, what if I would have, taken a leap of faith and went and challenged myself a little bit more and walked on at Minnesota and been able to play on such a big stage. And I didn't want to live with that guilt. So I took a chance on myself, and I'm very happy I did.
Yeah, it paid off, no doubt about it. You were a walk-on there, and then ultimately you earned that scholarship. What was that moment like when they announced it? Were you in a team meeting? Because a lot of times now we get the cameras out and we're able to capture these magical moments for guys like yourself who work your way up from maybe being a scout team player to a special teams contributor, and then you are a key guy on defense, and ultimately you become a guy who's draftable, and now you're starting for the New York Jets.
Yeah, it's a cool story, and it's one of those things I hope I can inspire other kids that are going to be in my position. And it was a really special moment when I got my scholarship. The number one thing that stood out to me was just the love that I felt from my teammates. They almost seemed more excited for me than I was excited for myself, and that's when you got special teammates, a good group of guys, and that's what playing football, playing sports is all about, is that brotherhood, that family within a team.
Does the bye now come at a good moment for you guys, considering the number of injuries you dealt with here early in the season? I know a guy like yourself probably is like, let's keep on pushing ahead. I'm just finding my groove here.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I'm somebody who likes to look at the positive side of things, and it is an early bye, and most vets, I think, would say they'd want it late in the season. But given our circumstance, with the injuries and just off to a rough start, I think it's a good time for us to get an extra week to get healthy, and then collect our thoughts and get really organized for Philly and try to turn this thing around.
What are you planning on doing with your time off?
Spend a little extra time in the weight room. It's important in the season to get your lifts and stuff in, and in the bye week, you can take that time to keep your strength up, and then just any nicks and bruises you got, get healed up. But
are you gonna go home? Gonna go back to Minnesota?
I'm thinking about it. I haven't made up my mind yet. But
what are they? Oh, they're at Purdue this week, so you wouldn't see them.
Yeah, so that's the thing. If Minnesota had been playing at home, I think would have gone back. But it's good to get away from it a little bit too, just to clear your mind and kind of hit the reset button.
Now, hopefully for the Jets, they're going to get their quarterback on the defensive side of the ball back against the Eagles, because C.J. Mosley is trending upwards, as is their quarterback on the offensive side of the ball. That's Sam Darnold. We're speaking to Blake Cashman right now, who has served as an understudy for C.J. Mosley. He's also cross-training. He's out there in the starting lineup playing weak side linebacker next to Neville Hewitt right now. But I wanted to ask you about Mosley. What's he like in the room, and how much do you absorb from him? Because if you're walking around a complex, C.J. doesn't talk too much, but when he talks, kind of like everybody kind of gravitates toward him.
I think you nailed it when you said it right there. He's quiet, soft-spoken guy, but when he does talk, it's something very important. You better listen, and it's great having him in the linebacker room, especially being a rookie, because it's like having a second coach in the room, and to have somebody that's a player/coach and who's actually on the field, seeing those live game time reps or in practice reps, he can kind of give you some tips or feedback to help your technique or help your assignment that you have on the field. So, he's definitely a guy that's had a lot of success, will continue to have success, and he knows so much. And in this game, you got to be a smart player. So that's why I sit right next to him in the meeting rooms to try to learn as much as possible.
Do you?
Yeah.
So every time he goes in there, you're right next to him?
Yeah. It's Nev, CJ, and I.
Okay.
A little pod together.
And how has Neville stepped up into the Mike linebacker role too? Because, again, we're talking about you, but obviously he's the guy next to you, and he's now calling the signals when CJ was out.
Yeah, he's done a wonderful job. I mean, what stands out to me the most about him is just how tough he is and how hard he works, and you definitely see on the field with just how fast he is, and he makes decisive decisions, and He understands that we have a lot of playmakers on the defense, so he wants to get the call out right away so everyone can get a line and we can just play confident and play fast. And he's definitely owned it. He's, I've seen him spend a lot of extra time with our position coach to, make sure he understands the game plan, because he knows he has a big responsibility on his shoulders to make sure that game plan is understood by the other 10 guys on the defense.
Now, you are a high motor guy. Greg Williams demands one speed from his guys, and that's Trek speed. Basically, run everywhere, get to the football, swarm. What has it been like for you, not only in the meeting room but on game day, with this guy as your coach? And he is the play caller, and he will get after the opponent in the parking lot.
Yeah, it's awesome as a player, just how fired up he is. It brings an extra fire to each player, and it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a starter, backup, a Pro Bowler. Like, he pushes everybody the same way, and he challenges you every day in practice. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's game, if it's a full speed practice with pads, or if it's a walkthrough. He is going to be getting after you and making sure that you understand what's going on, and I think that's what's going to push us as we get going in the season more and towards the end to make us a great defense.
Now, here it is. Rookie season, 3 games in. The season, the NFL, is an eternity. So are veterans telling you that to keep your head up? And with that being said, the second part of that question is, everybody's raving about the chemistry inside the locker room, the feel, and that you guys are going to be a tight-knit group. Nothing's going to break you apart. Do you sense that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was something I noticed day one when I got here, was just the urgency to be a great team. And there's so much accountability. The players aren't afraid to, speak up and get after somebody for the right reasons. And when you have that in a locker room, you have a special team. We just got to, put it all together and, execute on game day. But we have the spirit there, and I think that's important to have, or else you're not going to be a great team.
Now, the game's going to continue to slow down for you. That's something that Jamal Adams says, and he's a Pro Bowl player, and he's in his 3rd year. But I know this question might sound funny on the surface, but in your short time out there, has it slowed down a little bit where your eyes are better and you're kind of understanding more as far as how offenses are attacking you?
Yeah, without a question. I mean, I've felt that difference just from our past game against New England, and then when I first, had to step in and get some defense snaps against Buffalo, I felt like I was, seeing things earlier, anticipating things sooner, and I just felt more comfortable out there. And when you have that confidence, it just allows you to, play free, and that eventually leads you to make plays.
Does it get you charged up thinking about the potential, what this team can be down the line? We're talking about Mosley nearing return. Also, Brandon Copeland, outside linebacker, serving a 4-game suspension right now. He's going to be back. Jordan Jenkins, opposite him, tied for the lead in sacks last year with 7. A tremendous edge setter against the run, turning things inside, a tough guy. He missed the game against New England. He shouldn't be out too long. And then Avery Williamson's not coming back, unfortunately, with the ACL. But if you think about the linebacker unit out there yesterday, it was all guys slated to be reserves at the beginning of the year.
Yep. And, I mean, to get those guys back, guys that have played a lot of football, have a lot of experience, they understand the game. You only can imagine the possibilities of what we can do on defense. But what's great is, right now we have guys that, like you said, are reserves, but they're getting that experience. So, that could lead to more packages on defense, bringing more pressure at the quarterback just because you're rotating guys in and out with fresh legs. So I think there's endless possibilities of, what we can achieve defensively.
Are you encouraged by not only what you're doing in the run game, but in the pass game? Because it made a nice PD against the Browns, and then yesterday up the sideline against Burkhead, you were all over him. We're talking about your eyes, but athletically, you have good speed, and you, to me, are a prototypical linebacker in terms of coverage.
Yeah, I love to get out in coverage, especially in man. Just something I like about that one-on-one challenge, man-to-man. But, it's G-Dub, Greg Williams, he likes to get man coverage, bring pressure to the quarterback because that's all he wants to do is, get after offenses. So, it's one of those things that you got to, keep working on and keep getting better at because I know as the season goes on, he's going to want to, keep bringing that pressure, keep that man coverage out there.
Well, Blake Ashman, you're off to a hell of a start in your NFL career, and only better days are ahead. Enjoy the early bye. Watch the Gophers play Purdue. That should be a tight game in the Big Ten. And you'll be back at it next week. We're going to come right back here on Inside the Jets, 800-919-3776. And also quarterback Luke Falk is going to join us.
Connected consultants who help organizations navigate the transformative age by asking better questions to find answers to some of the world's toughest challenges, all to build a better working world for their people, clients, and communities.
We haven't seen a superstar like this in years.
You're not kidding, Bob. The people need to know about this standout.
Introducing this year's most sought-after rookie, the M&T Bank Jets debit card. New on the scene, this fantastic plastic stands 2.125 inches tall and weighs a lean 0.2 ounces. This small but mighty paying machine is sure to be charging through checkout lines all season long.
Hey Jets fans, get your hands on the exclusive Jets debit card with Easy Choice Checking. It's free from a monthly maintenance fee and free from a minimum balance requirement, leaving you free from worry.
I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this powerhouse everywhere soon.
No doubt about it. I want one on my team.
So show your love for the Jets and save on fees today. Rush to any M&T Bank branch or mtb.com/Jets today. M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Other transaction and service fees, including insufficient funds and overdraft fees, may apply to this account. Member FDIC.
Every time you close your laptop, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your to-do list is to do one less thing, a Corona gets its lime. Every time you press pause. Every time you unwind or lose track of time, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your feet are up while the sun goes down, a Corona gets its lime. So drop a lime in and find your beach. Please drink responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Selective Insurance is a people, dedicated and tireless, passionate about digging in to be the difference. Our independent agents, working with us to offer the right protection, making businesses better, making communities safer, making lives whole again, all in the service of our mutual customer, always at the head of the table. The customer, the independent agent, and Selective. Together, that's what makes the promise possible.
You're invited to Super Bowl 54 in beautiful Miami for a once-in-a-lifetime football experience from NFL On Location, the official hospitality partner of the NFL. You'll meet NFL alumni, enjoy exciting pregame parties, watch the action from the 50-yard line, and celebrate on the field after the game. For easy one-stop planning and access to hotels and travel, let NFL On Location plan your ultimate Super Bowl experience. Secure your official access and the best seats at Hard Rock Stadium today. Visit NFLOnLocation.com.
On game day, it takes an entire team to get the job done. Whether it's building the stadium, fixing the roads to get us here, or promoting economic development, the team we rely on is ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative. They promote investments in infrastructure and construction to provide opportunities for developers, union contractors, and members of Operating Engineers Local 825. ELEC, building the infrastructure New Jersey and the Jets rely on.
Your 2019 Jets are built for action, just like the all-new 888 Casino. The fun never ends at 888. Top slots, live dealers, and big jackpots. Your ultimate online casino experience. Join today and get a $20 free bonus. No deposit needed. Play for real money anywhere in New Jersey at home or on the go. Go to 888casino.com on your iOS, Android, or PC to get your $20 free bonus now. JETS 888. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and physically located in the state of New Jersey to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Stidham lines up as a shotgun. 2 receivers left. Ford to the right. Back he goes to throw. Throws it right, and it's intercepted right through the hands of Bolden. Jamal Adams runs left. He's got a convoy to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
Remember, Jets fans, you can stream Inside the Jets live through the Jets app presented by M&T Bank. Go to the App Store or Google Play now and search official New York Jets. Also, Jets Reward members, don't forget to enter the code GAME, G-A-M-E, GAME, in your Jets Rewards portal during the show to earn 100 points. Our player guest segment is presented by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. We had Blake Cashman on in our first segment, and now quarterback Luke Falk joins us. The clean-shaven Luke Falk.
Yep.
So
gotta bring some new energy.
So, so tell us about taking the beard off.
It was just time. It was time to turn the season around. So I had to, get a clean shave and get some new energy flowing into it.
So your first NFL start, New England Patriots, Gillette Stadium. Obviously, you didn't get the result that you wanted. When you got back to the complex today, you took a look at the film. What did you see?
I thought it wasn't as bad as it felt on the sideline. I thought we had some good plays out there. It's just, kind of like we talked about last week. We got to make plays during those critical times, and we got to find a way to string long drives to flip the field position and score some points. So I think this bye week will be a good week for us to regroup and get closer as a team, and then go out and get healthy and play a good game against Philly.
How would you describe the offensive system that Adam Gase runs? Because you were in Miami, and Sam Darnold was joking about it last week. He said, hey, listen, Luke knows the system better than I do.
Well, I think it's a great system. I think when everybody's on the same page and, I think when we're playing confident, it's a great system. Coach Gase calls a great game, and I think we're going to be ready to roll. I think these first 3 weeks, good learning lesson for us, but it's a long season. We got a lot of games to play, and we got a lot of work to do. But I think we got a good group, and we're going to be able to get it done.
I mean, butterflies or nerves out there yesterday. I would imagine that would be natural. And for a lot of guys, they get those anytime they step on the football field. You handled yourself very well against the Cleveland Browns in a relief appearance coming in for Trevor Siemian, completed 20 of 25. Yesterday, first pass right off the bat, 15 yards to Jameson Crowder.
Yeah, I felt good. I felt like just a regular game. Really was just focused on the things that I can control and trying to do my job. And obviously the result wasn't what we wanted, but looking back on the process, there's some good things there, some things to learn on and grow from, and I'm only going to get better.
How difficult is it for a quarterback and an NFL offense, no matter who you're playing against, much less the Patriots, where a lot of times you're facing third and longs?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we talk about we want to be in first and second down all day, and if we do get in third and down, we want to make it third and manageable, not third and 18, third and 12. So we just shot ourselves in the foot. We got to do a better job early in the downs, and I think if we do that, we can put a lot of points up and definitely be more productive on third down.
You don't make a ton of mistakes out there, from what I could see. Obviously, the interception.
Yeah, I definitely want that one back.
Well, you said you want that one back.
Yeah.
It happened in the second half. What were you seeing, and what did you expect to see, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those routes where he got caught inside. We're supposed to get back out, but it was a stupid throw on my part. Right as I let it go, I knew it was an aired throw, and in that situation, just got to find the check down and try to move the chains that way. So I think, overall there's about 3 or 4 plays that I wish I could have back, and that was definitely on the top of the list.
Yeah, and you guys are dealing with a lot right now because you obviously practicing with the ones for just a week of practice. Mm-hmm. Third quarterback in as many games. Then you got some changes on the outside. Quincy Enunwa goes on injured reserve. Demaryius Thomas unable to suit up against his former team, the New England Patriots. Chris Hearn is still out of the lineup.
Yeah, that's the NFL. Adversity is going to strike. And, my dad always says success is how you recover, and we got a chance to recover here. So we're going to see what type of team we're made of, what type of grit we have, and it'd be exciting. I think we're going to grow together as a team and go on a run here.
Sam Darnold, Luke, is targeting a return against the Philadelphia Eagles. Regardless, you're going to be ready to go. I know that. What has your interaction been like with Sam of recent note, considering he goes down with the mono and he's such a competitor like yourself, he wants to be on the field?
Yeah, I know it's killing him being on the sidelines right now, especially right now when he's feeling good. I think Sam and I have a good relationship, and he's doing everything that he can to be out there and help the team, and I'm doing everything I can to give us the best shot. So, whenever he comes back, I'll do my best to help him out and still prepare myself.
When you're reviewing film, you're reviewing it with Dahl, Adam, and the rest of the quarterbacks, or how does that process work?
Yeah. I mean, during the meeting time, everyone's in there, and then after, just us quarterbacks will stay in there and review it ourselves. And Sam's been in there, and he had some great points last week that really helped me out. And I think we just try to feed off each other. And I think what's cool about this quarterback room is everybody's rooting for each other, and everybody's just trying to help the guy that's playing.
I just talked to Blake about it, and this is something that a lot of the players have talked about, Luke, is that we have a group that likes each other, that cares about each other, and we're not going to break no matter what happens here. Obviously, not where you want to be here, 0-3, struggling offensively right now, but there's a lot of belief in that locker room.
Yeah, I think so. I think we know what we're capable of. I think we know that tough times don't last, tough people do, and we'll see what we're made of. I think we got some good competitors with guys that got a lot of grit, so it'll be exciting. I'm excited for the challenge.
So you talked about it during the week, and I know you were asked about it 1,000 times.
I already know what question's coming.
Yeah, but we're on radio, so we got to talk about it. 6th-round pick out of Washington State, number 199 overall in 2018. Tom Brady, 6th-round pick out of Michigan. Number 199 overall. He was your guy growing up in Utah, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. Now, after the game, somebody shot me over a picture. There were some weird similarities. He started, his first game he started was his 3rd game in his 2nd year at 24 years old, and he was picked 199. So it's just kind of weird in that sense. But, it was fun being able to go compete against him and shake his hand after the game after competing and, idolizing him for so long. But, I'm in the same league as him now, and, I got to be my own player. But it was fun to go out there and compete. And, obviously we wish the results were a little different, but at the same time, fun having the opportunity.
Did he give any quick words of advice to you?
He just gave me some encouragement that I'll just keep between him and me, but I definitely appreciated it.
Yeah, I got to imagine a memorable moment for you that you're going to be looking back at. Offensively, what do you think? Can you pinpoint one thing that's stopping this unit right now? And, we talked about the injuries, but and you were quick to say every team in the National Football League didn't want that.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we just got to be successful on 1st and 2nd down. We've got to have positive plays. Right now, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot too much. We're having too many negative plays, whether it be penalties, sacks, unsuccessful runs at times right now. So, for me, I can't allow these sacks. I got to get the ball out of my hands. I had my old coach in college used to say every sack's on the quarterback, and I try to take that to heart. So, just from my perspective, got to be better at that. And I think if we're better on 1st and 2nd down, we're going to give ourselves a chance.
I think you just made a reference to Washington State coach Mike Leach.
Yeah, Papa Leach.
Papa Leach. You were a walk-on at Washington State. We got about 45 seconds. I know you could probably write a book on Mike Leach, but what did you take from him, and how did he help you get to this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think from the football aspect, what he does a great job is keeping simple things simple. And that's kind of stuck with me. And then just, him giving me the opportunity to even go up there and compete with the scholarship guys and, give me a fair opportunity. So I'm forever grateful to him, even allowing me to be able to be in this point right now.
Their quarterback Saturday threw 9 touchdown passes against UCLA, but you guys couldn't pull that off.
I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked.
67-63 defeat. But, hey, listen, you are a gamer. You've worked your way up to this position. I know you're going to be there for the New York Jets when they need you down the stretch, whenever that may be. Luke, thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Inside the Jets. And remember, folks, 800-919-3776. We're going to come back with some of your calls. You are listening to Inside the Jets on ESPN New York.
Whether you're kicking back after a busy day or just kicking off a night out, join them at Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits located inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel in Florham Park, New Jersey. Sample all of your game day favorites from light snacks to locally sourced fare and enjoy a rotating selection of craft beers and local brews. Catch your favorite team on one of their 27 televisions. Challenge friends at a game of pool on 2 regulation-sized tables or gather around the fire pit on their outdoor patio. Visit Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits in Florham Park, New Jersey for your game day experience.
Every time you close your laptop, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your to-do list is to do one less thing, a Corona gets its lime. Every time you press pause. Every time you unwind or lose track of time, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your feet are up while the sun goes down, a Corona gets its lime. So drop a lime in and find your beach. Please drink responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Your 2019 Jets are built for action, just like the all-new 888 Casino. The fun never ends at 888. Top slots, live dealers, and big jackpots. Your ultimate online casino experience. Join today and get a $20 free bonus. No deposit needed. Play for real money anywhere in New Jersey at home or on the go. Go to 888casino.com on your iOS, Android, or PC to get your $20 free bonus now. JETS 888. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and physically located in the state of New Jersey to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Career success is in your future with a degree from Centenary University. 98% of Centenary alumni are employed or in graduate school 9 months after graduation. Hit the ground running with internships and career-focused programs like criminal justice, data analytics, education, equine studies, and sports management. Generous scholarships and grants are available at Centenary University. They're committed to your success. Learn more at www.centenaryuniversity.edu.
This here is the story of Lawrence, who always wants to play pro football. His parents supported his love of the game, sent him to special camps, and then, in college, pro scouts came to a bunch of games where Lawrence was playing the trumpet at halftime. Yeah, Lawrence was never that good at football, gave up by the time he got to college. But he also learned how Geico could save him a lot of money on car insurance, so he switched and saved. So, this here story has a happy ending after all.
Hi, football fans. This is Director Jared Maples with the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness. It's our mission to protect New Jersey with our federal, state, and local partners. Of course, nobody knows our communities better than the people who live there. That's where you can help. If you see something that you suspect is out of the ordinary, report it. Together, we can keep our state safe. Remember, if you see something, say something. To learn more about what to look for, visit njhomelandsecurity.gov.
Either side, 10 of the Jets 44. Here comes the Jet blitz. He's under pressure, and the Jets get home and get a sack back on the opposite side of the 50-yard line by Neville Hewitt for a loss of 7.
Inside the Jets is supported by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Eric Allen back here at Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. No Eric Coleman tonight, but we did have Blake Cashman on in our first segment, a young, promising linebacker for the New York Jets. Also, Luke Falk, who made his first NFL start Sunday against the New England Patriots. We're going to be taking your calls, 800-919-3776. I just want to update some folks about Sam Darnold. We know that he's missed the last 2 games with a case of mono. It's been a tough go for the Jets at the quarterback position here in 2019. Darnold starts. He said he didn't feel like himself against the Buffalo Bills, even though he completed 28 of 41 passes. He originally thought he had strep throat, but then diagnosed with mono. Trevor Siemian starts against the Cleveland Browns. He goes out for the year with ankle ligament damage. And then yesterday in New England, Luke Falk starts. But if you're a Jets fan, Sam Darnold's return is right around the corner. He is targeting the Philadelphia Eagles game in Week 5. Folks are saying around one Jets drive, this is a great time for the bye. This is one of the primary reasons why. This, again, is a 22-year-old developing quarterback in his second season. Hopes are high around Darnold. He is a talented player, a guy who can make plays when everything breaks down around him. Right now, the Jets' offense is not in rhythm. We have seen that the last couple weeks. We saw it even in Week 1 when the Jets faced the Buffalo Bills. They scored 8 offensive points against the Bills. Right now, the defense and the special teams has outscored the green and white. With that being said, remember what Sam Darnold showed last year when he came back from injury, leading the Jets to a come-from-behind victory over the Buffalo Bills, and then going on a major tear in December. Everything is headed in the right direction with Darnold right now. His spleen, the size of it, of course, you're not going to mess with it. He will not be on the football field unless he is cleared by the doctors. The size of the spleen has gone down, and the Jets released their backup quarterback today, meaning that shows you, hey, we got confidence that he's going to be out there on the football field. That would mean that Falk would resume his backup duties when the Jets return to action. We'll have further updates about Darnold next week, but the green and white are thinking that he is going to be back on the practice field next Wednesday, and that will be a major deal for the Jets moving forward. Again, the record is not where anybody wants it to be, but the facts say the Jets are down 8 regulars against the New England Patriots when kickoff arrived yesterday afternoon at Gillette Stadium. Sam Darnold not in the lineup. Tight end Chris Herndon still serving that 4-game suspension. He'll miss one more game. On the outside, Quincy Enunwa went to injured reserve with the neck injury. Demaryius Thomas dealing with the knee and a hamstring issue. He was out of the lineup as well. Then you switch to the defensive side of the ball. We talked to Blake Cashman. Reserves all across the board at the linebacker position. You're playing without your quarterback on defense, who is C.J. Mosley, who is a great player in his own right. Quinnen Williams, the number 3 overall selection in the draft out of Alabama. He has not played the last 2 weeks. These are not excuses. The point is that the Jets have dealt with adversity in a big way. They got to get some kind of offensive rhythm after the bye. Adam Gase talked about that today. No matter who's playing quarterback, got to block better up front. Going to have to create some more daylight for Le'Veon Bell. We know that. Le'Veon Bell is earning his money and then some here in the early going. But the Jets are going to play better football. 16-game regular season, 13 games to go. That is an eternity. And when you look at the schedule, yes, the Philadelphia Eagles, you got a trip there. That's going to be a tough ball game. A lot of people think they will be contending for a trip to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. But they just lost at home yesterday to the Detroit Lions, and they're dealing with injuries in their own right. They're 1-2. Then you have a home date with the Dallas Cowboys, a team who could contend in the AFC. They look mighty fine right now, 3-0. And then finally, you got the Patriots at home. But before we go to a break, let's just think about the schedule after that. At Jacksonville, 1-2. At Miami, a team who is 0-3. A home date with the Giants, who started Daniel Jones yesterday. He was impressive, but that's a 1-2 ball club. Saquon Barkley might not be in the lineup when the Jets face the G-Men. At Washington, a team still looking for its first victory. Versus Oakland, a team who is rebuilding. They're 1-2 right now. And Cincinnati, a team who is 0-3. Then you come home and you face the Miami Dolphins, a team who is still looking for its first win. Listen, you got to look at the Jets in 2019 in a long-term view. Right now, 0-3. Not a lot of things happening for them offensively. Their quarterback's coming back. Their quarterback on defense is coming back. They're getting guys healthy. They're getting guys back from suspension, and the schedule is going to lighten up. I want to hear from you here on Inside the Jets, 800-919-3776. I'm going to come back with calls in our final segment. You are listening to Inside the Jets on ESPN New York.
Ernst & Young LLP is proud to be the exclusive professional business and accounting services sponsor of the New York Jets and MetLife Stadium. Teaming with them as the official sponsor of the EY Coaches Club. As a global leader in assurance, tax, transaction, and advisory services, the global network of EY firms has better connected consultants who help organizations navigate the transformative age by asking better questions to find answers to some of the world's toughest challenges, all to build a better working world for their people, clients, and communities.
Selective Insurance is a people, dedicated and tireless, passionate about digging in to be the difference. Our independent agents, working with us to offer the right protection, making businesses better, making communities safer, making lives whole again, all in the service of our mutual customer, always at the head of the table. The customer, the independent agent, and Selective. Together, that's what makes the promise possible.
Every time you close your laptop, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your to-do list is to do one less thing, a Corona gets its lime. Every time you press pause. Every time you unwind or lose track of time, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your feet are up while the sun goes down, a Corona gets its lime. So drop a lime in and find your beach. Please drink responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Hey Jets fans, it's your chance to score big. Right now, when you open any M&T personal checking account with a Visa debit card, you'll be entered for a chance to win a VIP game day experience, including 2 tickets and a luxury suite and on-field access after the game. Get all the details at mtb.com/checking. M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. No purchase necessary. Certain restrictions apply, including residential eligibility and account types that apply for automatic entry. Void where prohibited. Visit mtb.com/Jets rules for important dates and official rules. Member FDIC.
You're invited to Super Bowl 54 in beautiful Miami for a once-in-a-lifetime football experience from NFL On Location, the official hospitality partner of the NFL. You'll meet NFL alumni, enjoy exciting pregame parties, watch the action from the 50-yard line, and celebrate on the field after the game. For easy one-stop planning and access to hotels and travel, let NFL On Location plan your ultimate Super Bowl experience. Secure your official access and the best seats at Hard Rock Stadium today. Visit NFLOnLocation.com.
Whether you're kicking back after a busy day or just kicking off a night out, join them at Vanderbilt's Sports and Spirits located inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel in Florham Park, New Jersey. Sample all of your game day favorites from light snacks to locally sourced fare and enjoy a rotating selection of craft beers and local brews. Catch your favorite team on one of their 27 televisions. Challenge friends at a game of pool on 2 regulation-sized tables or gather around the fire pit on their outdoor patio. Visit Vanderbilt's Sports and Spirits in Florham Park, New Jersey for your game day experience.
On game day, it takes an entire team to get the job done. Whether it's building a stadium, fixing the roads to get us here, or promoting economic development, the team we rely on is ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative. They promote investments in infrastructure and construction to provide opportunities for developers, union contractors, and members of Operating Engineers Local 825. ELEC, building the infrastructure New Jersey and the Jets rely on.
Selective Insurance is a people, dedicated and tireless, passionate about digging in to be the difference. Our independent agents, working with us to offer the right protection, making businesses better, making communities safer, making lives whole again, all in the service of our mutual customer, always at the head of the table. The customer, the independent agent, and Selective. Together, that's what makes the promise possible.
Edwards set to take the snap at the Jet 35. Kicks it away. End-over-end kick. Olszewski, an immediate fair catch signal. Drops the football inside the 10-yard line. It's loose at the goal line. Did the Jets just recover it in the end zone? Where will they mark it and who will they give it to? The officials are getting together. Touchdown Jets. Arthur Millette comes away with the football.
Welcome back to Inside the Jets. We are broadcasting live from Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. You are listening on ESPN Radio. Alan Hahn is going to follow us, and I know he's going to be talking about the Jets and, of course, New York Giants rookie quarterback who made his debut in victorious fashion. Listen, better days are ahead for the New York Jets because they're going to get their quarterback back in the lineup very soon, and that is Sam Darnold. This team has dealt with a lot of adversity here early this season. I'm going to get my co-host back in 2 weeks because we're on the bye next week, but Eric Coleman will be back next to me as well, and Blake Cashman and Luke Falk came out to Vanderbilt's tonight. But I said I wanted to get some calls, so let's rifle through a few of these right now. Ira's been on hold for a while. Ira, what's up?
Hey, yeah, what's happening?
What's up, buddy?
Good spot with Luke and Cashman, and I love Cashman since camp. I thought he's really stepping it up. Nice to see him have success so far. Of course, yesterday, we knew what we're going in there with 8 guys out. You get the whole picture. But, going forward, there are a lot of winnable games and very encouraging news about Sam. And I know we have a great medical staff. I know they're not going to put him out there unless he's like 150% guaranteed to be healthy. But the thing that I just have to get out there, last year, the last quarter of the season when Sam played well, that offensive line pretty much is the same players that we have right now, except for the center and the left guard. And Asamale was an upgrade. I'm not quite sure. I know they didn't spend too much time playing together during summer, but these are all veterans, and there's just too much miscommunication. How are they going to get this fixed for the Philly game?
Listen, that is a fair point, and the Jets will tell you themselves that, hey, listen, it hasn't been good enough up front. Yesterday, 5 sacks Luke Falk had. Also, there's been no daylight for Le'Veon Bell. Almost all of Bell's yards, it seems, have been yards after contact. They got to find some room to create space, make it a clean pocket. The thing about Darnold that you don't want to depend on all the time when he comes back into the lineup is to create on his own. The Jets do have to do a much better job up front. And why the bye comes at a good time for this coaching staff is Adam Gase and those offensive coaches are going to go back into the lab and say, what's working? And right now, offensively, not a lot. You got to hang your hat on something, and what can we do moving forward? But again, getting Darnold back will be a big piece, but the line has to block better, and the Jets team, in terms of offensively, has to develop better rhythm. You can't get into 3rd and longs in the National Football League. You will not win that way. Let's go to Joel right now.
Guys, great show. I'm an avid listener. I listen all day. And Dave Robson on my ladder. You guys don't, and I'm a quarterback, been a quarterback my whole life, never played D1, played D2. Here's what I'm trying to say. If it wasn't for Drew Henson getting cleaned on the sideline, if it wasn't for Drew Bledsoe getting cleaned on the sideline, this guy would not be. You have to land as a quarterback. You have to land in an offense that suits you. You just interviewed a 5th-round walk-on that's got an NFL job. How come nobody pays any attention to this? It's where you land. There's so many good quarterbacks that I don't care if they're Jesus Christ. If they don't have an offensive line to protect them, their talent can't shine. Brady's talent, he got on the field twice because somebody got their bell rung. Brady had no intention of being drafted. Brady was never going to be drafted. Brady got on the field twice for an injury. And
Thanks for the call, Joel. Okay, so the point on that is, Tom Brady, 6th-round draft pick. I actually was on the field that day working in public relations across the way. Nobody knew Tom Brady was going to be this. That was the Drew Bledsoe era and won. The Jets went up there after 9/11, and then Brady became a great quarterback, a fantastic quarterback. Sometimes it's hard to predict what these guys are going to become. And I also think that when the people are looking at the Jets offense right now, it's got to be better, but we're overlooking the fact that you just played with a quarterback who had a 1 week of practice with the ones. He was just promoted from the practice squad. And the offensive line, it starts up front. And again, these guys are going to have to find some answers during the bye week. We got time for maybe, Gary, you got about 30 seconds. Go ahead, Gary. Got about 30 seconds.
Sure. Is it me? I thought I was going to be on the Alan Hahn show.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gary. No, you can call in a minute. Okay. That's all the calls we're going to have for tonight because that's all the time we have. But, again, listen, the Jets are off this weekend. Next week, then they'll get back to work, and then they'll follow that up with a date against the Philadelphia Eagles, a team who is dealing with some injuries of their own. They're 1-2 on the season. Then they got a home date with the Dallas Cowboys, who are off and running, and then they'll follow that up with another game against the New England Patriots. But Sam Darnold is feeling better. He's targeting a return to practice next week, so good news for the Jets. Alan Hahn is up next on ESPN New York. And thanks to Blake Cashman and also Luke Falk.
This here is the story of Lawrence, who always wanted to play pro football. His parents supported his love of the game, sent him to special camps, and then in college, pro scouts came to a bunch of games where Lawrence was playing.